What's going on, everybody? Good to see you all. Good to see you. We don't have the YouTube. There it is. Oh, and that is from yesterday. We'll have to block that for right now. That's okay. How's everybody doing? Hope you're doing fantastic. Hope you're having a fantastic day. A lot going on. Mom Donnie, what are you doing? Ryan, thank you so much. Yesterday, yeah, you hit me with the 10 bones. Thank you for that, my friend. I appreciate it so very much. Thanks for the 10 bones yesterday. Really do appreciate that. I think I have people that were contributing sent to me. Big shout out to Lydia, Steven, and Ryan. Thank you so much over the past couple days. Appreciate that. But yeah, let's get back into Mom Donnie. What a joke. But he can't really pull weight. So, you know, it's just going to be a time for New Yorkers to have to show up. They're going to have to realize, listen, there's going to be a time where New York may never be the same. But again, not really that much pull. He's for mayor, for God's sakes. It's not like he's president. But I get what you guys mean. Big shout out to everybody over there on YouTube. Please share the stream. I would really appreciate it. It means a great deal to me. What's up, Build? What's up, Rumble as well? Just good to see you. Share the stream, like the stream, thumbs it up, whatever you got to do. I would appreciate it. I really would. So yeah, before we get into the show, let's go ahead and get into Noble Gold really quick. We appreciate them very much. Then we'll get into the news, folks. Let's go. As we wrap up 2025, it's a good time to slow down and reflect on the year. If there's one thing we've all learned, it's that uncertainty isn't temporary. It's the world we live in now. Waiting for things to go back to normal, it isn't a plan, it's a gamble. For over a decade, my friends at Noble Gold Investments have helped Americans protect themselves and the people that they love by diversifying their wealth with gold and silver. Look, no one knows what 2026 will bring, but one thing is for sure. In an uncertain world, real wealth isn't digital. It's physical, it's lasting, and it's yours. So when you're sitting around the table this holiday season surrounded by family members, the best gift that you can give them isn't under the tree, it's peace of mind. And that's what Noble Gold delivers, peace of mind, 1 ounce at a time. Before the year ends, take one smart step toward a safer future. Visit noblegoldinvestments.com and get your free wealth protection kit today. That's noblegoldinvestments.com. Don't leave your future to chance. Isn't that nice? How's your Wednesday? Hope everyone's doing good. Hope you're having a good Wednesday. I truly mean that. Little warm out there in South Carolina today, but now that I think everyone is put into context, I'm a big fat guy now. Yeah, I have to wear sweatshirts all the time. Try and sweat it out. So yeah, it's like 73 degrees today. It's been so cold in South Carolina, and it just kind of changed. Just changed right off the rip. Right off the rip, folks. Just trying to figure out the properties really quick with all of this when it comes to YouTube. I don't know why it's showing yesterday's chat, but excuse me. We'll have to figure that out. I'll have to get somebody on that. But I'm looking at you guys. All right, let's go ahead and get into it, shall we? Let's go. Boom, with the news today. General Mike Flynn, New York City is so screwed. And you can see who this post is from, Mr. Alex Soros. So proud to be a New Yorker. The American dream continues. Congrats, Mayor Zoran Mamdani. Zoran. What? Zoran Mondami. That's right. Woo-wee. What are you going to do? And we're going to get further into this as we go along throughout the day on this stream. But again, I don't think this is that crazy of an ordeal when you start having, these public grocery stores. Can he do that? I don't think so. Is he going to be able to freeze people's rates on their rent? I don't think so. I don't think he could do anything like that. He's just it's just basically showing New Yorkers that, this is who you voted for. Right? And, what can you do with that? It's not a good thing. And that's up for interpretation. That's up for what you guys can put in as your opinion. But a lot of New Yorkers this may be huge for them. Maybe this is their awakening. Because could you think about this 20 years ago? 24 years ago? 24 years ago was 2001 when everyone came together about 9/11. And then you would say, would this ever happen? Could this ever happen? That you elect a socialist Muslim mayor? It happened. New York, it happened. So again, would we ever have imagined, and especially New Yorkers at that time, 24 years ago, and maybe that is a long time. There's been change, damn it, as people say. Times have changed. For the worse? Again, that's up for interpretation. Who knows? It seems like it's always an uphill, downhill battle. So many years in the future. 24 years into the future. That's what happens. He can't raise taxes either. We all know POTUS will play hardball with him. I totally agree with you, Trusty Turnip. 100% agree with you. They said they never forget, and they forgot. Chris N says yes. I agree. Yeah, we are, Rise. I got busy with something. My bad, brother. We'll meet up next time. I know you were busy setting up your show. I didn't want to bug you, but I'm glad you're here. Texas Hoss, so glad to see you today. Lord's blessings. Right back at you. Right back at you. Yeah, YouTube is not on the screen, but I'll get that fixed for tomorrow. I kind of don't want to do it right now. It would take me too much time. But we could bring up some other stuff for sure. Why does it keep putting it on that page? I wish you guys knew how hard this was. Here we go. Somebody prophesizing, which I've seen this around, that maybe he was a prophet. Mamdani will spark a 1990-style crime wave in New York City, and many more New Yorkers will die. Charlie Kirk, 9/8/25. Not my words. Not my words, but his words. 9/8/25. 2 days before he was assassinated, Mamdani will spark a 1990s-style crime wave in New York City, and many more New Yorkers will die. I believe I heard a quote today. I think it was by the great Anthony Cumia. If you don't know who that is, look him up. But he was saying, he grew up in Queens, and he was saying that I believe 48% of Queens, let's just say half of the people that live in Queens do not even know how to speak English. That's a town. That's one of the boroughs of New York City, and half of that borough can't even speak English. Is that even New York City? Is that even America? Right? You think about this. Kind of take this into, let it kind of flow through you. You have people in this country that do not know how to speak English. They do not respect the flag. And imagine if you went to, I don't know, let's say you wanted to go to Italy. And you're like, you know what? I think I'm going to move to Italy as an American. Wouldn't you want to learn Italian? Wouldn't you want to learn something about the country that you were going to move to? But it just seems as though in America that we're not getting that at all. And that's not a good thing. 48% of Queens, New York does not know how to speak English. They don't even know the language, and you think they're going to respect the Constitution or the flag or those around them? These are two different societies, or multiple different societies. This is a melting pot, Thomas. This is how things are supposed to happen. Yeah, but again, it goes back to, well, if you were going to move to Italy, wouldn't you want to learn something about it? Maybe the language so that you could assimilate in some way? No, not in this case. And you're going to start seeing more and more and more of that. If you don't come to assimilate, you come to hate. Very interesting. Trusty Turnip. Infiltration and invasion, I agree. It's very real. What can you do? But again, General Michael Flynn says New York City is screwed. I don't necessarily believe that. I believe that it will either be an awakening for the city. But even SNL made fun of it. Yeah, they were propping him up and all these sorts of things with their sketch. With him and Shane Gillis and another fellow that was pretending to be Cuomo. But at that time, just yesterday, I believe, or Sunday, they put it out there. Even in the sketch, he was saying, I'm not really going to be allowed to be doing anything. It's just kind of the superficialness. That's not a word. The superficiality? Is that the word? This doesn't quite look right. Right? You had New York City's Mayor Rudy Giuliani. 9/11 takes place. Would you have ever thought, would you ever have thunk it, that this would be a thing today? Not many people would have. Probably 5% below, 10 below, that this happens. Judy the Lady Pug, thank you for the back cookies. I appreciate it. Guys, by the way, Cash App. People are hitting it up, and I really do appreciate it. Please help out. Show that love. Let's at least, get 5,000 gold pills over on Pilled. Help out with the Cash App. By the way, dropped merch. If you want, this is new merch, guys, right there. If you want True Reporting stuff, I'll show it at the end of the podcast or the live stream, right? So again, Mom Donnie will spark a 1990-style crime wave in New York City, and many more New Yorkers will die. Not if Trump has anything to do with it. I think, Charlie Kirk, you're a little bit reaching right there. A little bit of panic state right there, which is wild. Let's do a reality check really quick.
Been working on for decades and decades and decades, and folks, you better understand. Brett, did he mention in all those? Is Dave Brett there? Let's get Dave Brett. Did he mention in all those call-outs he did one white name? I must have missed that. In all the people he called, I don't remember. He didn't call for Jefferson or Washington or anything from American history. You have 40 or 50 years of visa scams. You have illegal immigrants coming in, illegal alien invaders coming in 10 or 15 million. This is what you're going to end up with. So, folks, if you don't think that's a reality check, you're not paying attention. Dave
doesn't talk about Thomas Jefferson, doesn't talk about former presidents or anything like that. Nothing. Reality check. 40 to 50 years of visa scams and 10 to 15 million illegal alien invaders. That's what you end up with. If you don't think that's a reality check, you're not paying attention. So you were seeing this. Zoran, Rave. That's Kirby Enthusiasm. Zoran Mamdani, right? Puts this out there on the back screen. Giant back screen. He's won the election. He's ready to go. Then something strange happens. Check this out. Trolling at its best, folks. And I'm sure you've seen it, but I'll put it up there for you. Take a look at this. Hey, what does the screen say? Oh, Trump is your president in the shape of the Knicks logo. Rave, man. Trump is your president. Oh, they're all booing. It got hacked. And people started to recognize it. Is anybody showing an American flag or anything like that? Watch. Boo. You see the hands in the background? That's so funny that it got hacked. That is absolutely hilarious. How did they do that? It's so good, though. Oh, my goodness. It's so good. So good. Delect 2150, good to see you. Welcome aboard. But yes, Trump trolling, and I like it. Check this out, too. I got a bunch of stuff for you today. There's many of them out there. Not great. From Nabila Islam Parks. Nabila Islam Parks. Could not be more proud of two major victories for the Muslim American community and Democrats. Shouldn't it be American Muslim community and Democrats? Zoran is the first Muslim to be the mayor of New York City, and Ghazala is the first Muslim woman to ever win a statewide race in this nation as Virginia's next lieutenant governor. Also, South Asians represent. I mean, would you expect that? And from Elon Omar up at the top. Praise be to Allah. Praise be to Allah.
Allah Akbar! Allah Akbar! Allah Akbar!
My goodness. Where'd that come from? But that's there. And that's in your face. Praise be to Allah. Again, 24 years ago, would you even have thunk it? No. You wouldn't have. You wouldn't have even have thought it. Oh, and then we have this from DC Drano. Check this. I don't know what this message is from President Trump or what it means, but it's probably going to be an uphill battle for Mamdani, as you can see. And so it begins. This is what Trump posted after Mamdani won. I have a feeling Mamdani is about to experience hell on earth. Lawsuits, investigations, and possible indictments. Enjoy. And so it begins. That's all up again for interpretation. Who knows? But I like it. I think it's good. Who knows what comes from this? And so it begins. ... If you're enjoying the show so far and you're glad we're back, please help out, guys. You know what to do. Cash App's right there. Anything, it is. This is where you go on Cash App. Stream donations 17. That's where you go. If you want to go to Cash App, hit that up. Help us out. Gold pills are more than welcome as well. So, from what I was talking about earlier is kind of what Bill O'Reilly was saying and Anthony Cumia was saying as well. Again, looking at Anthony Cumia. You can see right here, Bill O'Reilly gives the perfect analysis of why tonight's election results may have zero impact on the 2026 midterms. He's talking about the midterms now. Before, I was talking about what's going to happen with taxes, what's going to happen with rent, what's going to happen with these supermarkets, and so on and so forth. You think New Yorkers are going to go into a supermarket and, abide by the rules and run these things like some socialistic camp where they get, a piece of, a loaf of bread, all these sorts of things? It's crazy. Because you have grandmothers that are 93 years old that are paying rent that have been there for 85 years. They're paying $300 a month for rent in New York City. And when they should be paying like $8,000 a month, they shouldn't be. But let's just see if he can freeze that. Let's just see if he can do it. He's not. He's not going to be helping anybody by any means. New York and London are the only two cities that are considered Alpha plus tier, with Tokyo and Hong Kong being close in second. It is not a coincidence that both London and New York have been mirrored. Nope, not a chance. Surge Pie. Nope. Lucy Rosepetal, good to see you. Trump said if New York voted for Mamdani, he would stop funding. That is hilarious, and I hope he does. But again, you can see right here from Bill O'Reilly. My friend MJ Truth summed up tonight's election results as mostly a shit sandwich, and he's not wrong. Tonight has so far been a shit sandwich. I've been fighting for the GOP almost entirely because of Trump's inspiring me to do so all these years. Feels like the GOP isn't doing jack shit about it. And as disgusted as I am right now, we have to understand it. I don't believe for 1 second the results are genuine, but on its face, they are bad. But is there something bigger going on here? Is this a reflection of how midterms will go? I don't think so at all, and Bill O'Reilly just weighed in to express essentially exactly what I'm thinking about right here. Let's take a listen.
A peace plan for Gaza. For the plan to advance, Hamas must disarm.
I got a Mazzato knife, and what followed was an absolute fiasco. Here's what really...
This has nothing to do with the midterms. Zero. And the reason is so many things are going to happen between now and this time next year. And it's going to be a completely different country than it is now. Now, I can't predict which way that's going to go.
Then how do you know it's going to be a completely different country?
Because there are so many things that have to be decided. There are too many undecideds. And you can start with the Supreme Court ruling on the tariffs. You can start on that. And they'll rule in Donald Trump's favor because of the 1974 law that Gerald Ford signed into. They have to. The Supreme Court can't change the law. It has to uphold what's already been in precedent. Now, they'll rein Trump in a little bit, but that will give Trump then a free field to see if in the next 8 months the tariffs can kick in to bring prices down and to help people. That's what the midterms are all about. It's about economics here. It's not about China. It's not even about Putin. It's about...
So there it is. Does this change the midterms? Bill O'Reilly, I'm sure, knows his economics and all these sorts of things. But again, who knows? Bill O'Reilly leaves Chris Cuomo looking completely stumped with an election analysis that went straight over his head. O'Reilly, tonight's results have nothing to do with the midterms. And Cuomo says, you better hope. We're so divided. It's unbelievable. We're just about ready to come out of Rocky 6 through 12-month period. I told you, a Rocky 6 to 12-month period, I told you that we would have to go through. Remember I told you that? Well, it's almost over. And then it's going to be really beautiful after that. Hold firm. And I hope so. I hope this person thinks that that's correct. I really do. But again, going back to this, I wanted to show you, and we'll see it. I'd love to see countries leave monetary unions like Italy or Germany or Austria or Hungary and straight up go iridescent. That'd be nuts. I don't think they have the power to do that, to be honest. I really don't. But it is what it is as we sit here and ho-hum over this. I'm so glad senior citizen Murder Cuomo didn't win gold elect. Yeah, I mean, I agree with that as well. Nobody wants that. I mean, for God's sakes, he switched from a Democrat to an independent to try and pull some weight, but that's not going to happen over there. That's not going to happen up there. You know it as well as I do. Let's go into this really quick.
Folksy at Zoran K. Mamdani. Congrats on the win. Now you have a big responsibility. If I can help NYC, just let me know what I can do. You believe this? I mean, of course you do, because you know, but I hope voters now see the scam. The rest of the holdouts, maybe, what are you, 20% that aren't MAGA, see the scam. There it is. This is what Republican donors have been for decades. This is why your country has been crumbling before your eyes for decades, because your donors betray you. Your senators betray you. They do this, and then they come to you every 2 years and every 4 years, and they plead for your vote. They pretend to be you.
Isn't that Stockholm Syndrome? Isn't that Stockholm Syndrome? Let's look up let's look this up really quick. We'll go back to this. Definition of Stockholm Syndrome. Stockholm Syndrome is a proposed condition, a feeling of trust or affection felt in many cases of kidnapping or hostage taken victim by or towards a captor. A feeling of trust. Every 2 years, they come back to us, right? Listen, we got you. We got you. You're going to be just fine. Trust us. As you're locked in a basement, being held hostage, taken by a victim toward a captor. That's what this is. It's what it's always been. And that's a great video just to throw out there. We weren't even done with it. But we'll go back into it. Bill Ackman. Let's look up this boy. Is an American billionaire hedge fund manager who is the founder and chief executive of Pershing Square Capital Management. Yes, this fella right here. Activist investor. Portfolio, blah, 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 after making steady gains, yada, 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 yada. Bill Ackman is offering a hand to Democrat Zoran Mamdani after he was projected as the winner. He spent $1 million, a billionaire who is supposedly, a right-wing guy. Stinks. Hypocrite. So again, they scam you to make you believe that they are one of you. And they toe the line. And you're part of that line. You're the fish on the hook, on the reel. Right? And they're reeling you in. And you go, maybe it'll be different this time. Maybe it'll be completely different. Yeah, that's the ticket. Maybe my kidnapper will treat me better this time. Stockholm Syndrome is what it is. It's Really, really bad. Really bad. Let's get back into this. By the way, if you're enjoying the show, hit the like button over there on YouTube.
At Zoran came up 4 years, and they plead for your vote. They pretend to be you. They pretend to share your values, and they do this to you behind your back. The second they can survive, the second they can look for crumbs. Look, people like Bill Ackman and the rest of the donor class, they're happy to sit on the floor licking the crumbs of the Democrats off the floor like a dog under the table, rather than get a seat at the table because they have to fight for it. That's who they are. And you know what? They're eating well. So while you can't pay your car payment, while your children can't buy a home, while you maybe can't buy one or even afford your mortgage or pay your rent, they're eating well. Listen to the sound of them sucking on the tail of the crawfish now. It's disgusting. It's disgusting. This is why the failure of these people, and they all hate Donald Trump behind his back. You're all to blame for Donald Trump. You created the conditions. That's why he resonates, because you failed these people. And they look, something's got to give here, Steve.
Something's got to give. It's true. Trusty Turnip, I gave you that mod. Welcome another mod. We got Trusty, we got We Are Rise, and we got Trump 1 on the 1s and 3s. Does that make sense? But it makes a lot of sense, does it not? They beg for your attention, they beg for your vote, and then they leave you for dead. And then they walk away with millions and millions of dollars. They set you up for failure, is what they do. Disgusting. Putrid. Ugh. We spoke a moment ago about the Supreme Court. I'll show you guys this. And Bill O'Reilly is like, oh, they'll give him a little bit of leeway, but or they'll reel him in a little bit. What? Why? Imagine if it was stacked in the other direction. The fact that the Supreme Court of the United States is even taking up the Trump tariffs is a huge red flag. This shouldn't even be before the Supreme Court. Any decision that stops a president's ability to impose tariffs in return for tariffs imposed on American goods would essentially end America. Do you think, let me know in the chat, all chats, do you think the Supreme Court is captured to an extent? Y's in the chat or N's in the chat? Let me know. What do you think? Do you think that they are captured? Trusty Turnip, thank you for the cookie. Thank you, Thomas. Finally made it home when you were live so I could get on my Trusty Turnip YouTube account. Yes. Let me know in the chat. Sideswipe says not entirely. Texas Haw says yes. Spirit 554 says yes. Miss Echo, I'm kind of with you guys. I'm kind of with Sideswipe over there on Pill. Not entirely, but a lot of it is definitely captured. Is anything sacred anymore? Is anything pure anymore? Let's take a quick commercial break. As we wrap up 2025, one thing's clear. Uncertainty isn't temporary. It's the world we live in now. Waiting for things to go back to, in quote, normal isn't a plan. It's a gamble. That's why Noble Gold Investments helps Americans protect what they've built with real gold and silver that hold value when everything else feels uncertain. So this holiday season, remember, the best gift that you can give your family is not under the tree. It's peace of mind. Visit noblegoldinvestments.com and get your free wealth protection kit today. noblegoldinvestments.com. And there we go. Thanks to Noble Gold out there, guys. By the way, they're giving away coins too, which would be great gifts. I'll be airing that here next week. They're giving away 1 ounce silver coins. You get 10 of them, 10 silver coins. That would be great gifts if you want to sign up with Noble Gold. Just tell them True Reporting sent you, and you go, yeah, I'll sign up. They send you 10 silver coins, 10 1 ounce silver coins. Those would be great gifts. Just a heads up. And by the way, yeah, again, with the merch, if you guys, I know you haven't seen me in a very long time, that merch is still available, so definitely hit that up. Karen Allen, 43, and good work, Gal, think that the Supreme Court is not captured. And I hope you're right. But it just seems as though a lot of them, I mean, if they're trying to go against the president with tariffs, that's not good by any means. Null Set, good to have you aboard. Anybody on YouTube, share this stream. Make sure, this is what you should do. Make sure you just click the note, go into your YouTube account and just for True Reporting, hit that notification bell. So when I go live, it's going to be at 4 o'clock. You get that notification and you're here in the flesh, folks. Just know that. And we're bringing back live call-in shows. We're bringing back live shows with me and Brett Collins. We're bringing back Beyond the Headlines with Linda Paris. That'll probably be a once-a-month show. Just a heads up. That may even be a secret show that we'll put maybe behind a paywall, because when me and Linda start going off topic, we're going to get flagged real quick. So just a heads up on that. We're not quite sure what's going on with that. But, yeah, just tossing that out there to everybody. Again, please smash that notification bell so you know when I'm live. President Trump still going after the cartels. Here we go. Let me blow this up a little bit more so that you guys can read. Cartels control tribal lands in California, grow drugs, and impose narco slavery. From Cabello, California, driving up the steep and windy road from his station in Ukiah, Mendocino County, Sheriff Matt Kendall stops his pickup at a pullout overlook of California's Round Valley. Missing. Not good. Mendocino. It's where the trouble begins and never ends, he told the Epic Times. Native American sovereignty and California's policies that shield illegal immigrants have allowed Mexican drug cartels to swoop in on tribal lands of the Round Valley Indian tribes, a confederation of the several tribes, the sheriff said. The valley, known for illegal marijuana, grows on tribal lands. It's remote and surrounded by forested mountainous terrain. It's a patchwork of tribal lands and those sold off to private owners many years ago. Kendall, 56, grew up here in the late 1970s during the drive to Cabello, an isolated town in the valley, and he talks about how much the times have changed over the decades. Back in the 60s and 70s, it was a beautiful place, a lot of freedom here, he said. When we were kids, we were out riding our horses and having fun. Every kid in the valley had a horse. We'd go to the river. All of us had summertime jobs, hauling hay and cutting firewood. His nostalgic journey ends abruptly as he passes a burned-out building with murals of missing women on its walls. A stark reminder of the violence that plagues the valley. Again, this is California. Other banners along the road display their names and their faces, including that of Rose Britton, a Native American woman who, according to the FBI, was last seen in Cabello being kidnapped at gunpoint in 2018. Today, Kendall says there's a little bit of farming and then just tons and tons of marijuana, and pretty much all of it's just illegal. We see a lot of Hispanics here when there's no work, no sawmill jobs, no grapes, no vineyards, and not much of logging either. They're all here taking orders to grow marijuana, and a lot of it's happening on tribal lands, which is stolen. He estimates up to 80% of the illegal marijuana in Mendocino County is grown on tribal lands, based on aerial surveillance and satellite imagery revealing a vast network of illegal grow ops. Jeez Louise. Mexican cartels. Kendall first encountered Mexican cartels in his county in the mid-1990s. I got shot at right over there in a Mexican grow 25 years ago, he said, pointing to a footpath through the brush. A guy pops out of a tent with a 12-gauge shotgun, and I screamed at him in English and in Spanish, "Drop it or I'm going to drop you." And he takes off running and gets off around at me over his shoulder. Years ago, a group of Hispanics growing marijuana in the hills were digging up artifacts and just tearing things up, Kendall said. We hit this place with search warrants years ago, and we got thousands of plants. Today, even though the cartels and the laborers who work for them cultivating and harvesting the illicit marijuana are mostly illegal immigrants, Kendall is not legally allowed to call an Immigration and Custom Enforcement, ICE, due to the state Senate Bill 54 signed in 2018 by former Governor Jerry Brown. The law prohibits state and local law enforcement from using their resources to assist federal immigration enforcement agencies, including ICE, and forbids them from asking about a person's immigration status or sharing confidential information with federal agents. Today, two competing Mexican cartels, the Jalisco New Generation Cartel and La Familia Mexicana, are exploiting California's sanctuary state policies and the sovereignty of native tribes to illegally grow marijuana in the county, the sheriff said. The cartels have tagged their territory with spray paint in different areas of the valley, he said. Disgusting. Shootouts are common. We know that we've got some hard hitters from the cartel in the Mexican state of Michoacan, said Kendall, who suspects a shootout in the hills in May was an infighting among the La Familia members known for gun battles in the streets of Mexico. Can you believe this is happening in America? A roadside shrine with a crucifix marks the site where Jorge M. Zavala Estrella, 30, was shot and killed in the shootout. These guys had some bad blood over money and grow operations, and they met nose to nose right up here, he said, pointing out the spot on the Hulls Valley Road. Another man was shot about a dozen times and was bleeding out near the edge of the road when deputies found him. He was airlifted to an out-of-county hospital and survived, the sheriff said. A third and fourth suspect were also involved in the gun battle, and the homicide investigation is ongoing, Kendall said. Kendall estimates about 300 shots were fired. There was brass collected everywhere, he said. Shootouts are common. They're using AK-47s, AR-15s, and M16s. Is this Venezuela? What is this? Is this part of Mexico? It sure as hell feels like it, doesn't it? Very disturbing. Good work, Al says. The cartels have no problem with Gavin Newsom, and I wonder why. Yeah. Not good at all. Look at this. It's baffling, isn't it? Narco slavery. The Biden administration wide open borders policy made things worse in Mendocino County. I'm not playing partisan politics here, Kendall said. It's a fact. Borders were open. Illegal immigrants who couldn't pay the full fare to Mexican cartels to cross into the United States fell into debt with the Mexican cartels, and much of that debt is being worked off by the marijuana grows. I guarantee you it's not just the marijuana grows. I guarantee you it has a lot to do with a little bit of sex trafficking, too. Oh, I haven't even read this, and there it is, right there. Over the last few years, Kendall's deputies have seen an increase in human trafficking cases as the cartels bring in more illegal immigrants to cultivate, trim, and harvest the illegal marijuana crops. It's sex trafficking, it's labor trafficking, and it's narco slavery, he said. One victim told Kendall after he crossed the border from Mexico into the United States, he was picked up in California and informed by the driver working for a cartel that he would be taken to Washington State to work in the logging industry. I've spoken with a lot of people in marijuana grows. Once they're caught and they've been trafficked and didn't realize it, they said, don't even know what's happening. Can't even probably speak English. But the cartels can speak multiple languages, I bet. Terrifying. But this is where a lot of this is coming into play. Notice all the uptick in all of this. It's not good. Reservations are often the canary in the coal mine, he said. If something goes south there, because it's a very close, tight-knit community, it's going to go south across the entire county. Kendall says partisan politics are getting in the way of law enforcement and public safety, but he does his best to stay out of the fray. I'm careful what I say because I don't want to alienate people, but I still have to tell the truth, he said, adding that one of the more important things he can do to call out the corruption and deception. There's a very small portion of people who are making money on this, and they're being bullies and creeps, intimidators, kneecappers to the good people. Kendall says he repeatedly called California Governor Newsom, but the governor will not even return his calls. They're here. You can look at the videos when out in the ocean, out in the, in the Atlantic, down there in the Gulf of America, and you can see them destroying these cartel boats. But they're already here. They're already here. And wasn't that said once President Trump got reelected in 2024 and they were just saying like, yeah, no, it's all ran by cartel. It's all here. What are you going to do? We're going to search them out. They are a terroristic group. And we'll find them. But there's so many that were allowed in through 2020 through 2024. People were coming in with RPGs, rocket launchers coming in here. People from Sudan and Tehran and everywhere. Afghanistan, Iraq, Iran. They're all here. What are you going to do? What did we talk about yesterday? All these things taking place when it comes to botched terror events. Thank God the FBI is doing its job, figuring these things out. It's not good. I think we talked about 15 things, specific things, just from October 31st to November 4th. That's 5 days. 15 events that were supposed to happen within 5 days. Not even a full week. Imagine that. Everyone's saying infiltration, not invasion, and you all are 100% correct on that. It's not pleasant. If you're enjoying the show and you're finding this informative, please go ahead and subscribe, share the stream, hit the notification bell, help out with gold pills over there on pill.net. I would really appreciate it. And you can hit up the Cash App as well. Hit it up, add it up. Hey, we got a raid from American Rising Media. Thank you so much, Johnny Q. Thank you. Well, we could talk about these boats. There's another one just got destroyed. By the way, everybody coming over here from Johnny Q and Sean Anon's stream, make sure you hit us with some cookies. Let's get a cookie war started, shall we? Here we go. Secretary of War Pete Hegseth. Today, at the direction of President Trump, the Department of War carried out a lethal kinetic strike on a vessel operated by a designated terrorist organization, DTO. Intelligence confirmed that the vessel was involved in illicit narcotics smuggling, transiting along a known narco-trafficking route and carrying narcotics. The strike was conducted in international waters in the eastern Pacific. No U.S. forces were harmed in the strike, and 2 male narco-terrorists who were aboard the vessel were killed. We will find out and kill and terminate every vessel with the intention of trafficking drugs into America to poison our citizens. Protecting the homeland is our top priority. No cartel terrorist stands a chance against the American military. And what did we talk about yesterday? And I don't want it to happen, but Venezuela will not play games. They continue to play games, rather, and they do not play ball. So now we're going to send in Delta Force. We're going to send in Marines. You don't want to play the intelligence and the technological advances of these teams going into Venezuela. It's like shooting fish in a barrel. Let's just say that. Miss Echo, thank you for the cookie. I appreciate that. Mud Rabbit on YouTube says hit the thumbs up button. Go ahead and do it. Smash it. Smash it. Crazy. Let's watch this. I like them too, Mud Rabbit. I'm from Miami, and for decades they've been bringing it on shore in boats. Yeah, man. Or Miss Mud Rabbit. I get it. And we see this. Maria Corona Machado is now claiming that Hamas is operating in Venezuela and calling for U.S. military intervention against Maduro. Oh, God. This came out early this morning.
The US certainly sees it that way at the moment, doesn't it? We've seen this very striking move in the last few months, the military build-up in the Caribbean with the world's biggest warship, being on its way there, just the latest demonstration of that. I want to ask you about the strikes the US has carried out on boats in the Caribbean, described as being strikes on drug cartels. What is your position on the deaths that have happened in that way?
Look, Michelle, as I was saying, for years, we were, asking the world to understand the degree of the threat and this devastation the Maduro regime was building in Venezuela. I mean, Venezuela has been turned into the safe haven for the activities of all criminal international networks, from the drug cartels to the Colombian guerrilla, to those groups that smuggle gold and destroy communities of our indigenous people and the ecology, to networks that smuggle arms and even human trafficking.
We'll pause right there. Should we? And I understand it's not necessarily going to war with Venezuela. That's where you get the twisty turn right there. You get a little bit of a twist. You're actually going to war with the cartels in Venezuela, with Delta 6, with Blackwater, everybody else going in there, being very sophisticated, taking these people out. I don't know how many there are. I don't think anybody knows. But they're going in there with advanced technology to take these cartel members out. Do you agree with that? And do you agree with the terminology and the phrasing of we're going to war with Venezuela? I feel like that is a deterrent to make it sound like President Trump is like, we're going to war. We're going to war. Right? Well, I don't think it's going to war with a country. It's going to war with an actual enemy that's poisoning not just Venezuelans, but also our country, which is just coming up through the toilet, the turlet. What do you guys think? People say that they agree with it. Interesting. What about all those drugs polluting the ocean and sea life? Yeah, I don't know. You bite into a piece of rainbow fish and you're high for like 3 days. Something like that. Do you guys agree with it? And I really feel like they're trying to flip the script and be like, oh, yeah. They're going to war. We're going to war with Venezuela. Come on. Sharon Hudgens says, I think it's just time to buckle up. Could be right. Spirit 554 says, I finally feel like there's a real war on drugs, in my opinion. That is a great statement. Dion Cooper, 3/4 of the Earth's surface is water. A little bit of drugs won't kill it. Dion Cooper, I'm kind of right there with you. Good point. Let's finish this. Just wanted your guys' take.
Child prostitution. This is horrible, what we're living. Russian agents, Iranian agents freely operating in Venezuela, Hezbollah and Hamas being located in our country. And as any criminal structure works, the moment you start, weakening them and they falling apart is when you cut the sources of and the inflows of their criminal activities. And we have asked for years the international community to cut these sources that come from drug trafficking and other criminal activities. Finally, this is happening.
So you think those killings are justified then? That's what I really want to understand. Are they justified?
Oh, Bloomberg, why don't you go suck an egg? Now, you're really justifying the killings. Ugh.
Are they, as the UN would say, extrajudicial killings?
This is about saving lives. And Maduro is absolutely conscious, and he has been warned what not to do. These deaths are the responsibility of Nicolás Maduro. He knows, and the rest of the drug cartels that is in power in Venezuela, that they should stop these activities in order to prevent more deaths, not only of the Venezuelan people, but also from people all around the country. And look, this is very important. We don't want war. It was Maduro who started this war.
You are someone who stands for people's rights, for the rights of Venezuelans, for their democratic rights, for their human rights. What about the rights to due process of the people who were on those boats?
What?
I certainly defend the rights of everyone, not only Venezuelans. And that's why my voice has been, loud all along this process. But you need to understand, all the international community need to understand that this is...
I swear, liberal media is insane. But don't you feel bad about the unnecessary killings? They're poisoning people.
A very cruel war. It was Maduro who turned
They'll come at every angle.
International conflict.
Raising Cain, thank you.
Are those people expendable? That's really what I'm wondering. Are those people expendable on the boats?
It was Maduro who insisted on maintaining operations that have consequences. It is Maduro that started a war against other countries, knowing that would have consequences. I am talking about, this process is about saving lives, millions of lives. That's what we need to do. I mean, we have been for years explaining the degree of crimes against humanity that take place in Venezuela and that need to be stopped. It is systematic, it's massive, it needs to be stopped. Finally, there is a reaction from international coalition that is calling things by their names. Maduro is not a conventional dictator. We are facing a narco-terrorist structure that has turned Venezuelan territory, Venezuelan resources, Venezuela's institutions and that turn them to the activities of a criminal cartel.
And this language you use, narco-terrorism, this is exactly the language that the Trump administration uses about Venezuela.
Oh my goodness. Goodness. This is where we're at. Let's call the police on this lady. Let's get this lady. I need somebody to come pick this lady up. Come on. What is this? Maduro sent them to their deathbed. The ocean. Facts. Let's waste them. Johnny Q. Yes. Right here as well. There's no due process in war. Yes, exactly. I get it. And what this language you're speaking that is unfavorable of the Trump administration. This is how these people think. This is unbelievable. Let's go back to the Supreme Court. Real quick. Take a look at this. Because President Trump talked about it. We need to get into it. But what about their feelings? Mr. Cooper says. Hanging with Mr. Cooper. I know. Exactly. Breaking. The Supreme Court is considering striking down President Trump's sweeping tariffs tomorrow, and Trump says it is life or death for our country. With a victory, we have tremendous but fair financial and national security. Without it, we are virtually defenseless against other countries who have for years taken advantage of us. Our stock market is consistently hitting record highs, and our country has never been more respected than it is right now. A big part of this is the economic security created by tariffs and the deals that we have negotiated because of them. Thank you for your attention on this matter. He's right. Do the right thing, Supreme Court. Spirit 554, thank you for the shades, my friend. This is true. What are they doing? Have they shut it down? Or is that tomorrow? When did this come out? Have they shut it down? Did they shut down the tariffs? We have to look this up now. They have not voted yet. They have not voted as of yet. A boneless chicken, thank you for the shades. Appreciate that. Again, guys, if you want to get new merch, right there, and I'll show you at the end of the chat or end of the show. Let's get into this. A full-scale grand conspiracy probe into Russia collusion hoax could trigger dozens of indictments against top government officials and politicians. Woo-wee!
Got a hair and makeup? Wearing hair and makeup? Julie Kelly, your lovely facade fire right now. What's going on?
I know, it really is. There's just so much going on. So it looks like House Judiciary today announced an investigation into AT&T and Verizon, especially Verizon, for producing those cell phone records of 8 or 9 U.S. senators and one House member. That was the Verizon subpoena that Jeb Osberg put a non-disclosure order on that you and I have talked about. AT&T, however, did not produce those records, but I think that House Judiciary still wants to see, to the extent that they can, communications between Special Counsel Jack Smith and AT&T in seeking that subpoena. So that's new. I think the big news today are the disclosures by acting U.S. Attorney Lindsay Halligan in the Eastern District of Virginia. She's the one who brought that 2-count criminal indictment against James Comey. A lot of motions and briefs, filing fast and furious. Jim Comey last month filed a motion to dismiss based on selective prosecution. Lindsay Halligan filed the government's response yesterday, along with the response.
I want people to go to your Twitter, and we want to get it up. Halligan essentially, simplify it for legal morons like ourselves. Halligan kind of called his bluff. He came in and said, this is malicious prosecution. She doesn't know what she's talking about. This was all normal course of business. And she kind of dropped a dime on him. Did she not, ma'am?
She absolutely did. And I've been posting this. I know Mike Davis has posted it, and you've talked to him as well. And that is the exhibits that Lindsay Halligan attached to the government's response. And these contain text messages between Dan Richmond, the Columbia Law professor, who also was a special FBI employee. He was Jim Comey's conduit between whatever Comey wanted to pitch to the media and whatever the media published, especially Michael Schmidt at the New York Times. There's text messages back and forth. These disclosures really give a view into Jim Comey's extensive leak operation out of the FBI to spin the Clinton email investigation, to plant the seeds about the Trump-Russia collusion investigation.
All lies.
And then, of course, to protect himself and have himself portrayed in a positive light, because he was under fire from both sides at that time. But the big revelation, I think, is the notes that Jim Comey took, either during a meeting or some sort of call on September 26th, 2016. And that, again, confirmed that he understood that this Russiagate information was being seeded by Hillary Clinton, her campaign, the notes there.
Yes.
I know you talked to Mike Davis, but the big one that I think I talked about earlier today.
Julie, hang on for the basis over the collapse of the Merrick Garland, Jack Smith, but the inside details are unbelievable, and your reporting is dead spot on. So I got that for you. Hit the highlight reel. We got a couple minutes left, ma'am.
So thank you for that. I actually bought the book on Kindle after the Mar-a-Lago raid. It's so absurd. These people are so dirty and corrupt and stupid. So it's really time that they are held accountable.
Hang on, because I only got time for this, but I want to say something. What I want to do is go back for your Substack, and particularly your Twitter feed and your hits on War Room, and compare and contrast your reporting at the time to because these guys got the inside baseball. They got the inside baseball of the Justice Department. And when you compare and contrast both, you realize how purely evil Merrick Garland, Jack Smith, and the entire operation was, Julie.
So evil. It's all over their face.
You and I talked when I was covering both court proceedings in Washington and then, of course, in Florida. I saw exactly what these guys were made out of. And you know what? So did Judge Aileen Cannon. So, but now what's hilarious is that Jack Smith is finally being portrayed as the loser that he is. And now you've got even Democrats and establishment DOJ sycophants from MSNBC, Carol Lenning, who wrote the book, now admitting that there were so many mistakes made that delayed the case getting to trial or advancing before the election. So it doesn't look like Jack Smith has a lot of friends on either side anymore, which is perfect. He doesn't deserve any. And I look forward to the continued investigation into him and his team of thugs, Jay Bratt, David Harbach, J.B. Cooney, Molly Gaston, and Tom Wyndham. There's some emails floating around about Tom Wyndham.
So, I mean, breaking this all down 100% is that they're all just going to start eating each other, which is all that they ever do. Once they get in a pinch, once they're jammed up, they're going to start eating each other alive. And we call that so long ago. I want to say a big shout out to Paulie9363 with the fleet. I appreciate that. I want to go ahead and show you guys this. This is the link that I was dropping into the chat earlier. If you didn't know about merch, you can 100% check this out, guys. I mean, you can get hats, collared shirts, hoodies. We're in winter again. We're in winter. check these things out. I have the collared shirt and I have the t-shirts. You got zip up hoodies, you got regular hoodies without the zip on it. You got the crew neck sweatshirt. Go for it, baby. Make sure you do so. Grab that merch, guys. That would be fantastic to do. Yeah. Grab it. You know where to go. I've dropped the link. I'll go ahead and drop it one more time for you. There you go. Boom, bada boom, bada bing. Grab that merch. I hope you guys enjoyed the stream today. Big shout out to everybody who helped out today. I got to go over here and check out these gold pills and release those, guys. We're going to try and monetize this stream bigly. So get stoked on that. And share the stream, guys. Come on. When it comes to YouTube, share the stream and hit that red notification bell. I'd really, really, really would appreciate it. Again, the scam is they pretend to be just like you, and they are not. Big shout out to everybody who was hanging out here tonight on all fronts. I really do appreciate it. If you missed the stream, you can go back and watch it on all fronts. Miss Echo, thank you for the cookie. Thank you so much. I appreciate that. Everybody who helped out, love your show. Thank you for sticking with it. Moses of God, you're so very welcome. Glad you were here. Again, everybody, glad you're hanging out. More shows to come. We got to fix the chat when it comes to YouTube so we can see everybody's name on the screen. But yeah, good to have everybody here. And take care. So I'll be back tomorrow at 4 p.m. Might come back with Brett Collins. Could be a good time. Could be a great time. Just know that it's an honor for me to be on the front lines with you each and every day. We're still building back this channel. So again, please, please, please share, subscribe, hit that notification bell over on YouTube. And I greatly appreciate it, folks. I will see you tomorrow again, 4 p.m. Get stoked on it. We love you very much, and I'll see you tomorrow. Peace.